Hello and welcome back to a game of Dota 2. You are watching StarLadder Star Series. It is of course still Season 8 and we are in day 24 of the group stages of the 29 days in total. That means that we're almost there, and that means that it's almost going to be known who will go to Kiev and who will stay behind. Now both of these teams will actually stay behind, because looking at the scores for VIII, they are at the bottom of the list. Completely at the bottom. They are lowest of everybody. 3 wins to their name, which is 2 given wins, of course, for the teams that left StarLadder, and 1 physical win with 12 games played in total. Now SSD, they're not doing too bad. They've got 11 games played, 7 wins, 4 losses, but the thing is they actually officially disbanded. They will still play the remaining of their games for StarLadder, but they won't be going to Kiev, and even though their chances to go to Kiev are actually quite low already, they also just will not be allowed because they are not actually a team anymore. So SSD, we'll see how they do up against VIII though. They are of course playing with 3 stand-ins, as Come With Me and Arise will be the only 2 core players that we'll see the rest of the season. We've got ourselves the Elder Titan and the Slark band now together with the OD and the Bristleback, just standard bands, not specifically tailored to any of the players or any of the teams rather. Oh, before I forget, as you might have already noticed, I am actually indeed solo casting. So I hope you bear with me, as we'll be able to see quite a few good games with that though. But, you know, doesn't matter. As long as we'll have fun, that's all that matters. And I'm not entirely alone in that case. I mean, I am joined by our Statsman. Music will be providing the in-game gimmicks. And, well, you can call it a duo cast, I guess. But I'm the only one that you'll hear. So, well, I guess it's good to get back into English language again, as over Christmas, of course, I do talk a lot of Dutch. And it does, I noticed that, so I hope that you don't notice it that much. Anyways, SSD, they picked themselves up a VIII and a Mirana. Now, personally, as a lot of you will know, that I really like Mirana. I like her more as a bit of a ganker kind of hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Than as a carry, so I'm hoping that's not going to be a core carry for SSD. We'll see though. Venomancer picked up by VIII, and it's interesting to note that Crystal Maiden in this draft is completely ignored. The IO will be the second support for VIII. Crystal Maiden of course can still be picked up by SSD, but they go for a Bane instead. Bane Mirana combinations, we've seen that before. I'm hoping for 2 dual lanes perhaps, or even an aggressive tri-lane, in which case I do like Mirana again. We're gonna see the typical IOC kick combination from VIII, so looks like we're gonna have some action over the map here this game. It was the Pugna, the Lifestealer, the Timber Saw, and the Templar Assassin that got banned out. I think SSD. They were kind of happy with the Templar Assassin ban because, well, Templar Assassin is a natural counter to that puck, and they don't want to be dealing with that. So picking up the puck themselves with a counter already banned out by their enemies, well, that's a pretty decent result indeed. 1 more ban needed though. VIII, they only need their mid-hero so far, so we'll see what they end up going with, and we'll see what SSD ends up banning out, because of course they want to ban out heroes they don't want to see against that puck. Maybe still a Queen of Pain, though that's not too bad of a matchup, it's more of a skill matchup. Well, we'll see who ends up there though, and actually VIII, they don't need to put something still mid, they can also go for an IOCK in the mid lane up against the puck, it's still quite decent. We do have 1 more here also needed, of course, for SSD, which is potentially a solo lane, depending on if Mirana, Bane, VIII is going to be an aggressive tri-lane or not. I really hope that it will be, as said already, and then they still put something on the safe lane, maybe something like a Klinks or whatever. They already, VIII had already banned out the Lone Druid, so that couldn't be a safe lane anymore. Well, let's see. VIII, so far, they haven't used that much of their bonus time, and actually both teams barely used any of their bonus time, only about 10 seconds each, so these teams know what they want. I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong, but it's interesting. We don't really see that often, as Weaver is the last pickup here for VIII, and that does mean, or at least it looks to be, AIO Chaos Knight in the middle lane, and Weaver on the safe lane, supported by Venomancer, and then the Clockwork on the off lane. Looks solid indeed. And if that is indeed a Weaver on the safe lane, it does mean that an aggressive tri-lane is progressively harder to pull off against that. Of course, you still have the Nightmare into an arrow, which can set up for a lot of things, and if they have got some detection, of course, that will be decent as well. And a Magnus will be our last pickup here for SSD, and that does mean that Mirana looks to be the only carry. Not too happy about that. Unless they put Puck on the safe lane or Arise on the safe lane on the Magnus and then go. Yeah, I really hope for the aggressive trial lane. Sorry, I won't complain about it if it's not there. But we'll see. We'll see indeed. Let's take a look, as we have got some disconnects happening. Hopefully they'll be back though. Not a word was said. Let's take a look at who is playing what. Once again, of course, you are watching StarLadder Star Series Season 8, Day 24, and Game 5 of 6 in total. Flipside versus SSD, as it will be SSD on the dire side for this game. We've got ourselves a stand-in. Kiyano playing the Bane, Come With Me, will play the Marana for this game. Arise on the Magnus. Stompa playing the Visage, and Werner playing the Puck. And I have to say, I'm quite surprised about the role that they are playing here, because we all know that Come With Me has a very, very terrifying Visage play. But it seems like he is being the carry in this game. Maybe kind of forced into it because of the stand-ins that they have, but it's still kind of a shame that we're not going to see his Visage this game. At the same time, on the side of Flipside, we've got ourselves Sheasley playing the IO Android P standing in. He'll be playing the Venomancer. We've got Asuna on the Weaver, Enlight on the Chaos Knight, and HS+++ will play the Clockwork. And that is everybody on the side of Flipside, as we're waiting for the pause to be undone, which is all going to be dependent on this Bane, Kiyano, to be reconnecting into the game, because without him, Mechanic can't start. It's kind of needed here. And there we have it. There we have it. No stand-ins on Pycat and Misery, indeed, as the chat already has figured out, as we have seen them standing in a couple of times for SSD, but not right now. So let's see how they do with these stand-ins. As we all, I mean, we've seen these before. We've seen Stompa and Werner before, for sure. I have to say, I haven't seen Kiyano before, but his name rolls off the tongue so easily that I'm not minding his name with being odd and all. But I like it. I like it already. Shout out to Vlad. I agree. I accept. And I will do that the same thing as well. Shout out to Vlad. Hereby done. And for what, you'll find out later. Come with me. I don't know. Oh, they actually have a higher win rate. That's interesting. I was not expecting that, but I guess it's. I kind of understand why, because it's been picked up more situational right now. It used to be something that teams almost felt obligated to pick in order to not give it to the enemy team, and that people knew exactly what to do against. But now it just is a situational pick if they realize that the enemy team doesn't have something strong against it, maybe. We do have ourselves an aggressive trial lane, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the Rise in the mid lane on the Magnus with the safe lane Puck. Does mean that we're going to see a safe lane Puck up against a dual lane made of Asuna and the Venomancer Android. And the IOCK indeed going on in the mid lane here by themselves. Will mean that Clockwork will be on the safe lane bottom, and he is a fairly decent target up against that aggressive trial lane. He'll be at least able to make sure that he is staying alive, which is of course going to be his main goal. Yeah, I'm not going to sing that. It's too awkward. I do like this though. The IOCK mid. It's been a while. Up against the Magnus. I mean, Magnus already overall has a fairly difficult time in the mid lane. And now even more so. It's going to be mostly about levels for him. If he gets his level 6, he can still rotate, he can still help out other lanes, but that's what it's going to be about. I'm thinking that Puck is going to be doing an okay job here on the top lane, and we might actually see Venomancer roaming bottom if he feels like he needs to protect his Clockwork, because even though Clockwork overall is a fairly decent hero against his aggressive trial lane, I mean, he can place his cogs, so even though the arrow might hit and the Nightmare, etc. might all hit, if he is able to place the cogs and run out, then he should still be okay, as he gets actually 2 cog blocks here, making sure that the wave will be in his favor for sure, and that he will be getting experience and not being in too big of an issue, too big of a trouble scenario right here. Yeah, it's gonna be the lane to watch out most for. I mean, for now, I think in theory he should be living, but you know, the difficulty is if someone knows that in theory he's supposed to stay alive, he might feel a bit cocky because he thinks he's supposed to stay alive, but in the end he won't. In the meantime, we do have Android being very aggressive here to Werner. He has not picked up a Gale first. He's actually picked up the poison sting first, which I really personally like. Oh, and light. His salve already ticked off by the range creep, but no more mana up on a rise. Pink's going... Hello? Don't you want to pick up the regen rune? One would think he wants to pick up the regen rune. Well, that's some misplay right there. He saw that too. It is daytime after all. So that's a bit of an awkward play there. And let's, you know, forget about the regen rune. Shockwaves level 2. I mean, it might not kill him anymore, but it does force him back. Force out more regen. And come on, that regen rune. Teleport here from Visage. Looks like they are okay with letting the Clockwork do whatever he wants here bottom. Or at least, you know, okay with just trying to make him feel uncomfortable rather than taking him down. And having the Visage pool on stack to help out the puck. I like the rotation. I definitely do. And I'm still baffled by the fact that he let that regen rune go. That's a big misplay right there. And Light will now go for it. Thinking it is the 2-minute rune, but this was actually the 1-minute rune. The 2-minute rune actually is not here. Because it spawned in the same place and then you just don't get a rune at all. So big misplay coming out there. On the side of flip side. Assuming you should never assume anything. Never assume that your enemy team already has taken down the rune, especially not if you just walk past it. Sorry, I will stop with the frustration right now. I might have been, like, personally I would have obviously missed it as well. But, you know, that's why I'm not a professional player. It's very simple. In the meantime, we're in 10 for 3. I mean, it's actually decent considering Weaver is 12 for 4. I mean, he has been up against a dual lane. He has been harassed a lot. As Battery Assault is actually hurting Bane right now. Gets cogged in as well. Battery Assault continuing to go through. The Brain Sap will still be there, but it's only level 1. This might actually be a first blood right here, but in comes an arrow up on the Clockwork. They're going to try and turn this around. No Starstorm, but the right clicks are enough to take the kill. One more hit needed. Come with me. We'll take it. First blood on the board. Come with me. We'll be getting the gold for that one. In the meantime, on the top lane, the lane is being pushed out, and Asuna, he is in some trouble here as well, or at least not as much free farm going on anymore as he used to have, so he has to be a bit careful here. Still level 3. Well, Wern is level 4, so he's definitely getting ahead. In the meantime, the mid lane, Enlight sitting on 14 to 3 with Arise on 13 to 3, which is surprising considering Arise is up against a dual lane. And therefore should be behind in last hits. And SSD, the obvious favor here for the chat as well. No surprise there. Especially not if people already saw the miss on the rune. Sorry, I said I stopped talking about it. Yeah, I did. We have got almost another rune spawning though. 4-minute rune. Let's see who gets it and see what it is. Haste rune top. Something that will be very useful for both teams. As Marana. It's quite rich. Probably will have to give a regen away or put a tango down, because I would assume like get some phase boots and start harassing that Clockwork a bit more. Clockwork was still level 3. He might have boots, but can't run against phase boots. And there's the go again. In the meantime, I do like that IO tries to get some extra experience here in the jungle. We did actually get themselves a pool as well. So with that extra experience, he might be able to get a level 6 at a decent timing, which is of course what it's all about. Decent level 6. Wait a second, what is this gonna happen here? Bane is actually still on the bottom, but it's a Rise that pops a haste rune. He might not have an RP yet, but he can skewer someone down. It's gonna be the Weaver. He wanted to go for the Venomancer. In the meantime, though, his Venom still dies. Arise still gets a kill, but not because of his score.
What made you think you stood a chance?
He faced down a volcano? Really? Huh. I don't think I've ever heard that sentence, but oh well. I like these captations. Make me learn new things. But yeah, Venomancer did die. Nice pickup for Arise. Didn't really miss that much in the mid lane either. Which is good. The lane is still pushing out. In comes a Reality Rift though, only 1 second stun for Enlight. That's not really good. There might still be a shockwave coming out still, but it's on cooldown for the moment. But Enlight has to be very careful here, because it's a level 3 shockwave. Arise might be able to do it, especially with Bane coming in as well. The tether will give them some extra movement speed, and with a bottle up on Sheasley, they'll regen up enough again. Nice rotation of the Bane, but kind of pointless in the meantime. Marana has actually picked up a Hand of Midas recipe, which is totally against my beliefs. Come with me. I are disappointed. Doesn't have boots yet. I mean, she's free farming. Don't get me wrong, it's great that she's farming and Mirana's overall, you know, they need farm, I get it. But I really was hoping that they were going to play this Mirana a bit more aggressive, and so far it doesn't look to be the case. Maybe they find that Arise can be aggressive enough. As 11, I don't know why they call that out. In the meantime, Puck. Puck sitting at level 6 has got a Dream Coil. Would imagine that he wants to do something with it. He actually is forced to jump over right now. It's fairly scary there with all those poison things on up on him. I really like bottles up on IOs. In combination with the overcharge, they give her such a secure farming or regenning tool, as they do get them a self smoked up, and they're gonna try and wrap around gank on the Visage, who's still level 4. The Puck who just threw his orb. That's gonna be the best timing ever. Let's see what they find. Reality Rift is gonna hit. Where's the stun? There is no stun. That's a stun. 2 seconds. They get both of the kills. One going to the Visage. No, one going to Creeps and one going to the Chaos Knight. Visage, of course, was one of the ones that still died. Nice, nice gank. Very, very nice gank. I do find that they could have maybe gotten both kills on Inlight, but oh well. A good gank nonetheless, and of course that was slightly trigger happy of SSD to try and go for that themselves. They kind of gave that away, not realizing the misses that were there. Chaos Knight and IO missing from the map, and of course the ward doesn't see smoke, so that's why they were able to get there undetected. In the meantime, Clockwork is almost level 6, so also his time to rotate is here, and he might be able to get aggressive up on Mirana, because of course all she has is a Hand of Midas. And that's not really going to be doing all that much to the Clockwork. Let's take a look at what Keanu is going to do, because, I mean, he's still level 3. And the longer he stands around like this, the less levels he's going to get. It's very obvious, but it's actually very important as well, because he has a very important level 6. That Fiend's Grip and Nightmare. Imagine someone relocating in on top of you. Fiend's Grip one, Nightmare the other, and you are going to be able to live and buy time for your team to get there to maybe take one of the two down. Or maybe you are able to take down the IO yourself if you Nightmare up the Chaos Knight. So, you know, you need to have that level 6 at least before that IO and CK start jumping around the map. They are going to throw an arrow out. They won't be finding the Clockwork because he backed off far enough. They will be able to lay down some pressure on the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower,
of course, who also has an important level 6 is the Visage. Needs those familiars. Still level 4 as well. While on the other side, let's take a look at the supports on the side of flip side. They've got a level 5 Venomancer and the IO level 5 as well. So that's a clear advantage, as we do have the rotation again. Who needs a relocate if you can just gank? The tether does get broken, but they have a new one. Can try to force out the leap on Mirana. Let's see, hookshot comes in. In comes a stun as well. Will be dodged and actually will be put on a Nightmare now. The stun is not there. The RP comes out on 3 Arise. They take down the IO first. Can they take down someone else? A 3-second stun still up on the Mirana, but it doesn't matter. The score takes down 2, kills off the Chaos Knight, and it's only the Clockwork that's here that tries to run away, but the Nightmare is going to be there, and there will be another Shockwave in 1 minute that will be able to take the kill. Boom, double kill for Arise. 3-0. SSD's rotation being superior towards a flip side rotation. That RP, perfect from Arise. He's now got his... well, he's almost got his Blink Dagger. He just needs about 500 gold and then some. And I have to say, that's a very scary start for Flipside, or secondary start, I should say, maybe. I mean, they have a first rotation that was successful, but nothing else. Nothing yet. This is the level... well, this is the normal one, I guess. Yeah. Haven't seen that one in a while. Normally everybody's upgraded already. Oh, Stompa in some trouble. Level 5 still. Asuna's gonna chase him down, looking for the pickup, looking for the kill. Asuna, though, forced a time lapse out, and with the Puck jumping in as well, he's not gonna get that kill. He is able to get away, though, which is, of course, very important as well. In the meantime, Arise is back in the mid lane, still saving up for his Blink Dagger, as Enlight has to just wait for his IO to get level 6. He's trying to get levels on different parts of the map while helping his team accomplish things, because that is the time for this right now. They need to slow down SSD's lineup. Slow down that Puck's Blink Dagger, which is successful, I guess. They have been shutting him down quite a bit, but he will get some extra gold right now. Let's Come With Me is looking at a tier 1 tower here, and there's nothing that can stop this one from going down. It gets the last hit for it as well. Come With Me, 1900 gold, and this is the part where it is a Hand of Midas that is starting to pay off. Blink Dagger up on a rise, and I like that he's actually going to the side shot bottom to try and pick it up, because when a tower dies, I mean like this, normally the carry will back off, but the chance of getting ganked here is still quite big for Come With Me. And now of course we see the minimap and we see that Come With Me is not getting ganked, but the potential that he is going to get ganked is of course a reason for a rise to be around there and to be ready to react. But for now he's not going to find anything. There's 2 people on top. We've got a Sunan on his Weaver, still with a Clockwork. Level 6 still, so still only with that hook shot. Everybody is level 6 by the looks of it. Let's take a quick look there. Wow, the differences are insane. I mean, yeah, the supports on the side of Flipside are level 6, which is great. But that, like, they're so evenly spread, level 6s and level 8s. Well, on SSD we've got actually level 10 Mirana. We've got 2 level 8s as well as a level 6 and a level 5. So advantage going the way of SSD still, I would believe. Let's take a quick look. Experience graph here, 4k in favor of SSD. Of course, a lot of that sitting in Come With Me's level 10, who now has a Yasha as a second item, which is after Face Boots and Hanamidas. I mean, it's very glass cannon-y. I mean, normally, at least you want to have either drums or treads, at least something that gives you some extra health. But Come With Me just totally forgoes on that one. Doesn't need it, apparently. Let's take a look. We're gonna see our reality rift up on Stompa if he finds the vision. Nope. The relocate is there, though. Moonlight Shadow will actually keep Stompa safe, just in case. And actually allows for Rise to jump in. He's looking for something. We'll be able to score Android. Gets an RP. No, stunned up. Arrow will still miss. And that's Mirana still with the kill, no matter if the arrow misses. The Starstorm comes out and he gets a double kill. Come With Me. Might be taking the Poison Nova, but he's not caring about that. Puck will still go down. Nice kill for the Chaos Knight. But still a 1 for 2. And that's still not favorable for Flipside, especially not... Well, since they get forced back to base as well. Chaos Knight has to be careful here still. And actually, that's Chaos Knight dead again. Time lapse not even gonna be there. The Weaver didn't have mana for it, and that's gonna be 4 for 1. Definitely favorable. Now the Fiend Script comes out. Well, everybody just coming in to die, don't they? Relocate. I mean, yeah, Clockwork and Io coming in, but Io already taken down. Clockwork left to die. That's gonna be 2 extra. Hello. I agree with Visage. Ha ha, oh ha ha. That's what they say. And I mean, I'm totally agreeing with that one, because that was just blatantly feeding. That's the only thing I can call it. Luckily for Flipside, as we are gonna have a pause, I guess. But luckily for Flipside, SSD did not take a tower off the back of that fight that lost them 7 heroes-ish. I realize I need a lot of water when solo casting. But I didn't have words for that. Yeah. And that's that. I mean, yeah, no, never mind. Let's move on from that fight. Flipside, they have to find some way to turn this around, because obviously they are losing ground real fast. They're behind on gold, they're behind on experience, and even though they are still doing okay on the tower department, only losing 1 tower, SSD doesn't really have that high of a pushing lineup. But they will get the towers anyway soon. I mean, with the familiars coming out now for Stompa. Mechanism almost done as well, or maybe it is ready. No, the courier doesn't have a recipe. It's just kind of scary right now. Now look at the difference in net worth. I mean, I might be personally flaming the Mirana carry role, but it's so working out for SSD right now. This Mirana is not only the highest level in the game with a level 2 ulti if she wanted to, which she didn't. But she's also almost double the amount of farm as the highest farmed hero on the side of Flipside, which is the Weaver, who also has a Hand of Midas. But Weaver did, of course, just die. I'm just a bit baffled about the previous fight still. Drums being built now up on the Chaos Knight. Good on him. Needs some tankability, needs some survivability. He does have it actually complete if he wants to. And we'll indeed be bringing it towards him. I'm waiting for some relocate ganks from the IO. That's the way that they are going to turn this back around. by just a quick... Oh, hello. Hello. Looking for a nightmare. Okay, doesn't get it off. Actually gets stunned first. In comes a point blank arrow. Starstorm still comes out and Light with the overcharge on. Still forced away. Still dying. And IO now as well. 2 pickups. No relocate happening just yet. And Asuna as well as HS have to back off again. They can't do anything here anymore. And Android of course also backing off. Maybe placing some wards to stop the push from happening.
Radiant's middle tower
But
is
I
under
mean,
attack.
it is like if you look at the game lineups, right? And you would only discuss drafts and not look at the teams. You'd think between 10 and 25 minutes. And that's a long period of time, I realize that. Or let's rephrase that. Between the IO getting level 6 and the CK getting level 8 and the time when you know, maybe 10 minutes after that 10-minute mark. That should be Flipside's game. That should be them determining where, when, what happens. They have got the relocate, they've got the threat of a relocate. Rimcoil comes out, they still went in after missing the stun, and they're gonna get punished for it. Fiend Script there as well, IO already dead, and Light will be getting picked up right now as well as a Clockwork, and that's 3 heroes again, picked up by SSD. Ownage called. And right now, I mean, this is, as I said, this is when you start thinking, you know, how are you gonna get back into this if you can't make your IO CK happen?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I have to say, even after that stun got dodged, they shouldn't have gone in. They should now be aware on how fast SSD can be there for their team. How fast they can rotate in and out. And they just paid for their insolence again. Weaver still trying his best though to keep up. He is at least finishing off his Aquila. Might not be going for his Lincolns anymore, at least not for a while. Might not have it finished for a while, but he's trying, and he is the only one that's actually slightly successful in trying. He has of course also got a timeless, which is a bit of a fail-safe if you ask me. But he is not farming fast enough by far. The solo mid, Magnus, who was up against a dual lane, is higher in net worth than that Weaver. Magnus is 506. With a blink dagger, he is one happy bunny. In the meantime, tier 1 tower top gets taken down. What's the Rise going for here? Does he want to have a 4-staff? Or are they gonna go for some more push and just build mass Necronomicons? Mirana coming from the side. They do know where she is though. They're gonna wait for an arrow. Clockwork knows exactly where she is. At least the ping came out. Might go for a blind hook shot. Here comes an arrow. They should now know where she is. Where's that hook shot? Nah, the hook shot is too late. And now it's already gonna be Mirana revealing position and backing off. Should be backing off. Where's that hook shot? Try to take some risks. No, no risk taken. Nope, no risk taken. And Mirana just leaps forward. They're just gonna go for the push. I guess I don't blame them. Going in might have been able to, might have signing their death warrant. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. Tier 1 tower, they're not gonna continue going on that one either. I mean, I'm still waiting for the relocate. Tower dies mid. That's all tier 1 towers picked up on the side of flip side. They wisely did not defend that one. Roshan will be next for SSD. They do also have the medallion on the visage. So they make sure that they have got that minus armor up on him, and they should be able to take it down fairly secure. And in the meantime, I mean, if you're looking like CKIO, who are you gonna gank? Mirana can leap away, Puck can face shift, and orb away. Visage is a good target, but you might be getting stunned up by birds. Bane, I already said the scenario that you can end up with if you gank on him, and you can get RP'd on the Magnus. So Visage is the only one, really, that they can relocate on. And when is Visage alone? And even if Visage is alone,
Roshan has fallen to the dial.
how are you gonna notice that he is? Because right now, look at the map. Where's the wards? Nowhere. See? There's no vision up for Flipside apart from their tier 2 towers. And that's hurting them a lot right now, because if you are gonna run an IO-CK lineup... Oh, hello, and bye, Android. Nicely scouted out by a Rise. Of course, the ward on the high ground, making sure that it was scouted out. Now the Gem of True Set will be allowing Kiyano to counter ward that one as well. But yeah, I mean, if you are running the IOCK lineup, and I guess at this point they can't really be that aggressive anymore, and they just have to hold on a bit and hope that SSD kind of throws. But you need some vision. You need to be able to know, like, I'm gonna call him out if he messes up. Yeah, Kayano doesn't want him to mess it up either. But
is under attack.
Visage, like, you need to know if he makes a positional mistake, right? So yeah, they won't be able to know that if that happens right now. We do have 5 heroes of SSD in the mid lane. Well, 4 I should say actually, because Mirana is not there. Mirana, who's got a Manta Style and a Mjolnir. He is so farmed right now. He is indeed, well, he's almost still 2 times the net worth of the Weaver. Oh, Moonlight Shadow. Actually, they're coming on top.
Tower is under attack.
Moonlight Shadow, they run past the Weaver. Weaver didn't scout them out though, and actually Mirana is going back. Oh, close. They do know that he's here, but they don't know exactly where. I like that. TP out from the Weaver. But again, I mean, there's just a tier 2 tower standing middle. They might as well try to take it down, right? And this is not the place where the Venomancer will place his ward, so there should be an easy tier 2 tower. The first one as well to fall. In the meantime, Flipside is going to try to take a tier 1 tower in return for it. There's still a fortification though, and I'm thinking that SSD will want to try and fight and defend, and at least Mirana is trying to. The tower is going to be left alone for the moment with an arrow still flying, and we'll catch out and light. Nicely done, come with me. Starfall coming in as well. Now in comes the overcharge again. The relocate out as well. 3 seconds set up on Come With Me, but of course Io will be back here soon, and Come With Me is already preparing for his return, and we'll see if he actually comes back alone or not. Come With Me, well, why not pick up a regen rune? Nicely done. Starstorm coming out. Sheasley will get picked up. Even the dust is there, just, oh, he tries, I don't know why he put the dust there. That was a bit of a panic dust. But that's a solo kill. A nice one as well. Asuna won't get arrowed. We'll have to be careful though. And does Shikushi himself back? Oh, not over just yet. The silence in the Dream Coil is gonna be rewarded with a kill. Ah, heh, heh, heh. Oh, that's what he said. Captured MVP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
2 tier 2 towers left standing. I don't think it's going to be long for this one though. This bottom one is going to fall. Middle one might still stand with an army of Venom Wards around it as well, but we'll see how long those last. As I think that Come With Me, as well as the puck might be rotating middle, depending on how far they get with this push actually, because they might as well try to see if they can go someplace high ground. I mean, why not, right? If someone makes a mistake, there's still 2 people top. Io and CK. They cannot relocate just yet for another 8 seconds. Let's see if this arrow catches someone out. Yes, it does. Android. But Come With Me. Very, very patient. As in, not going in on that one. Very brave. Teleports actually go top. This is the Magnus. He really wants to try and take out the IO and the CK. Now, of course, the relocate is there, and they're being extra careful. They actually pop out the dust just in case if there are people close by, but yeah, they did just ping on the Magnus. So yeah, that's IOCK out. Teleporting back to base. Smart move.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Visit with a kill. At this point, flip side, they don't want to force out fights if they don't have to. They might only have one big fight left in them, and they don't want to make it right now. They don't want to fight for nothing. They want to fight for their tier 3 towers or their racks or something like that. Maybe even an Aegis, but for now Aegis is sitting comfortably in Come With Me's inventory. It's almost going to vanish though, I think. Yeah. 1 more minute before it vanishes. In the meantime, stun, Arise, he has an RP, and he can use it. Hello. Tries to run for it, can skewer away. In the meantime, in comes the Bane, looking for Nightmare on one. Fiend's Grip on the other, get it as well, and that's Io dead. CK still here, trying to find up against the Rise. Will still get a 3-second stun out, and actually gets a kill as well, but he'll go down for his kill. Venomancer died, by the way, in the mid lane. Solo kill for the Mirana. A buyback, actually, for the Veno. Well, with our tier 2 towers down, I mean, with the Io and the CK dead, this could be a way to go high ground for the team of the Dire for SSD, but without the Magnus, perhaps they want to wait a bit. They are gonna lose the Aegis soon, as said, so I don't know. Apparently they want to wait for the Magnus. Can always, of course, try to make the fight 2-on-1, or sorry, 4-on-5.
Our thanks.
By blinking and skewering someone out and killing him off.
Godlike.
Wow, that was an IO.
Another put down.
Wrong place, wrong time, IO. Wrong place, wrong time. Just gets bursted down in no time. We do have a 4-staff indeed up on the Magnus. As well, so massive movements coming out from him. This game though, I mean 25k gold in favor of SSD, 20k gold experience in favor of SSD. This is probably the more one-sided game that we've had. I find it admirable for Flipside to actually try this. A relocate comes in, but Arise will be just fine. He actually gets a Moonlight Shadow to back him up, and this Moonlight Shadow is going to allow for a setup. And with the relocate on cooldown, Android is going to go down already, and he already just popped back. So this is gonna be SSD going for the tier 3 tower. CK and Weaver are top. They are trying to TP out. At least one is trying to TP in right now. The arrow will miss. Doesn't matter. Fiend's Grip is there. Chaos Knight will get picked up. Soul Assumption to finish him up. Unstoppable Stompa right now. Leap forward. Come with me. Picks up an IO because he crits like a crazy people person. I mean, this is about as... Yeah, I was gonna say. It was about time that was called. That was just utter domination from SSD. With a dominated bottom lane. And domination from that point onward as well. SSD will take the victory here over Flipside. And of course... Good game from SSD. Disbanded or not, they still show potential. They still show that they are definitely not skillless. And definitely have indeed potential for maybe a team later on in the next season. Maybe. We'll see if they can get themselves some extra motivation. Let's call it that. Anyways, we're gonna see our last game of the day. It's gonna be in a bit of a time. I mean, we have about a 15-minute break before we are gonna jump ourselves onto Power Rangers versus Empire, which in my opinion is the highlight of the night. It's gonna be hopefully a very active game from both teams. And yeah, stick around. We'll be back in just a moment where we have a game, Empire versus Power Rangers.